Hello and welcome to another video. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today we have a tournament final game from Charix and Martinius, and I was so excited to get my hands on this game. Reached out to both these players, tried to get a hold of it once I heard the units that Charix was bringing. Now, for context, for people who don't know, Charix is kind of the, I don't know, I'd say he's probably the high elf main right now in terms of he's winning probably the most high-level competitive games in tournaments with the High Elves, and he came out with a triple Shadow Walker opening. Now, this was not the Moose effect. Charix has been using Shadow Walkers, I think, for a while now in the shadows, winning games, quite literally pun intended, in the shadows. And this is the part that I am just flabbergasted at the moment right now. He's taking 2 units of Phoenix Guard in his opening army. And the reason I say flabbergasted is these guys, while they have insane stats, I mean fantastic, great bonus versus large, decent HP for a high elf infantry unit, elite infantry are just so difficult to take in this game. They just get countered by spells, by hell cannons for the Warriors of Chaos, and usually they do not have a good time. But we'll see how he can make them work. And I don't see a hell cannon in the starting army for the Warriors of Chaos. Now maybe we'll see one out of reserves, but at the moment there isn't one. So those Phoenix Guard are going to be doing okay. And there does appear to be a lot of large targets for them to counter in Martinius's army. A great player, Martinius. 4 units of armored chaos trolls coming out right off the bat. And Phoenix Guard will mulch these guys, but these guys, I mean, they're a very solid unit with their 100 weapon strength. Trolls really are fantastic fighters. They have regeneration on top of all of that. Really, their downside is their very low leadership, so they are prone to terror routing. For the High Elves, looks like Charix took Arcane and Forging and Soul Quench. A nice set of abilities there for the Batman of the High Elves. Martinius took Archeon the Everchosen. Looks like Searing Doom and Burning Head. Fight or Die, nice little aura buff. And the Crown of Domination does give ITP to surrounding allies. That'll be really nice on the trolls to help buffer them. Shadow Walker's getting some poke in. Looks like doing a little damage on the Chaos Trolls. Very curious to see their type of damage, but it looks like Charix might have turned off Fire of Will and pulled back. Arcane Unforging going down on Archeon, going to keep him from doing any abilities, which I don't think he was trying to do, so more of just a Spirit Leech poke at the moment. In the trees here, looks like we have 2 casters for the Hives. Oh, these are just Winds of Magic batteries for Charix here. This is a really good item for the High Elves. You can summon in these guys, use that to produce more Winds of Magic, which is a limited resource normally, unless you have those characters. Then you can unsummon them, get half their cost back, and get some nice extra spells for your caster. Looks like Posturing now. Warriors of Chaos have taken Objective 3 and Objective 2, so they will have the advantage at the moment. High Elves are going to need to make a move up and make a move. And it looks like a nice play from Charix here. These Shadow Walkers are stalked and visible, so Martinius won't have seen this coming. These guys are going to sneak up, take Objective 2, and put the challenge back onto the Warriors of Chaos. Shadow Walkers going to the Hellstriders. Great target there from Charix, ignoring the armored Chaos Trolls, which Shadow Walkers don't do the best against, and nearly half healthing those Hellstriders right off the bat from that accurate shooting from those guys. Turning on to the Chaos Trolls here, we'll get some nice damage. Burning Head going down, kind of fort. I love that positioning right behind the Shadow Walkers, making sure they can't retreat. But there wasn't a huge follow-up. The Hellstriders up front could have been good for damage. And the Shadow Walkers are getting some serious poke in right now to the Warriors of Chaos. Not really any good place to attack at the moment. These Trolls will heal up through that damage, which will be nice. Looks like Arcane Unforging going down, on Archeon, getting some nice, steady, progressive damage, maybe setting up for a dive later on in the game from Eltharion to try and take out that character. I saw a summon coming in, looks like some Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, very cool. I don't know if I really ever seen this unit. Devastating Flanker and ITP, really solid. The Phoenix Guard and Spearmen have set up, though, on Objective 2, and this is going to be tough for the Warriors of Chaos to move. They'll need to get something in here, and looks like the answer is going to be some cheap, or no, not so cheap, armor-piercing Warriors of Chaos coming in with great weapons. These guys will be able to possibly take out these units, but it will take them a long time. Looks like Charix is possibly pulling back, though. Gonna opt for a better engagement. Warriors of Chaos moving up here with Marauders and Chaos Warriors take objective 3. I'm very surprised that the Warriors of Chaos player did not take a Hell Cannon. It's kind of, I'd say, a quintessential unit. Maybe that Soul Quench from Eltharion is for the Hell Cannon. That would do a lot of damage to the crew. So maybe this is a matchup these two players have played a number of times. They both are in Clan RTK. So there's likely some context here that we are missing that they have that would explain that. Phoenix Guard going to pull back from the Chaos Warriors. A lot of Chaos units surrounding here, but the skirmishing is going really in the high elf favor right now. Chaos Knights trying to position themselves on the flank, maybe get a charge on the Shadow Walkers. Shooting into the Chaos Warriors' great weapons right now, not a great target for them, but the accuracy, they're not going to miss. They're going to do solid damage, so that will add up. Eltharion chasing back the Chaos Knights here, and it's looking like Martinius is just struggling to find a place to get in here. And oh my goodness, is this the Sword Masters of Hoeth? This is a very cool unit that you do not see very often for aforementioned reasons. And maybe this was kind of a build, what's the word I'm looking for here? A change-up. Like if you're familiar with baseball, a pitcher will occasionally throw a pitch that is like incredibly slow, and the batter is just not ready for it, just because of how different it is from what they've normally seen. And maybe that's what's going on here in this matchup. Is normally you'd never see elite infantry, so the Warriors of Chaos player thinks, I'll just take Burning Head, melt those archer lines and cheap infantry that the High Elves bring so often. So then Charix guessed this might be the thought of their opponent and just went to all elite units. Sword Masters, Phoenix Guard, all charging in. The elite Fireborn in the background right now. Looks like Arcane Unforging going down once again as the lines clash here. Epic underneath the High Elf structure there in the background. Eltharion diving in, tearing through the lines here. Chaos Trolls and Chaos Warriors probably going to get Archeon deciding to turn back with maybe seeing the Fireborn. Oh, no, gonna dive in here on top of Eltharion, immediately connects, and will get some solid damage. Fang Sword of Eltharion going down, gonna give more damage to Eltharion, but yeah, he needs to get out of there. Regardless of HP, he's gonna lose that duel pretty seriously. Chaos Knights coming around the flank, elite infantry really just stomping on the Chaos Warriors here. Marauders, Fight or Die active is gonna help turn this fight. Sword Masters are taking some serious damage at the moment. Chaos Trolls getting routed off, it looks like. Not terror routed, just losing low HP, even with the immune psychology from Archeon. Charge here coming from Eltharion, just cycle charging, trying to pop low leadership, maybe get a terror route on those Chaos Warriors, but good control by Charix is going to pull him back. Phoenix Guard over here, fighting Chaos Warrior Great Weapons. Theoretically, a good fight for the Chaos Warrior Great Weapons, but these guys really just don't have the greatest stats in comparison to these Phoenix Guard, who have an equivalent armor-piercing values. Burning Head going down on that Spearman, really nice cast, going to melt that unit, but the elite infantry are holding, getting worn down by the forces of Chaos. The Trolls into the Sword Masters is a good trade for the Trolls. Phoenix Guard over here, however, are going to melt the Trolls they're going against. Shadow Walkers still have some ammunition, it looks like, but basically out. But these guys will be able to do okay in melee, or maybe Charix will unsummon them, we'll have to see. Silverhelm's trying to hold the flank here. Warriors of Chaos have some serious power here in the Hellstriders, Forsaken, and Chaos Knights. Looks like they are sending in their last reserves, as the High Elves are getting a little battered here on the objective. Warriors of Chaos do hold the objective advantage quite a bit, but time is not of the essence. Looks like a Searing Doom is going to be really nice into the Fireborn, taking about, oh my gosh, about half HP. The top of Skull Crushers of Khorne, really cool call in from Martinius here. These guys are a good counter to the Fireborn if we can get a nice bonus large of 10. In the middle, though, the lines of Chaos are breaking. That low Troll leadership is showing up in a pretty important way right now, as the mass for the Warriors of Chaos is getting routed off as more elite infantry arrives in. Forsaken will be solid damage, though. Archeon taking another Arcane Unforging, fighting the Fireborn. Fireborn, an incredibly elite infantry unit, though, and could fight back against Archeon pretty well. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh with Fighter Die doing some good work here. And looks like the Fireborn are going, and that's the Silver Helms. Fireborn are still holding. A lot of Chaos units, though, could start rolling over things. The Shadow Walkers did engage, so I like that choice from Charix. The bonus versus infantry will do well in the Chaos Warriors and just high stats. Silver Helms over here looks like fighting Hellstriders. That'll be a good trade for the Silver Helms, especially with their recent buff to their armor. But the Hellstriders will punch back really nicely with their bonus versus large. Looks like Eltharion. The Trolls have rallied, though. The return of the Trolls coming back in the fourth quarter, charging into Phoenix Guard, not where they want to be, but there's just a lot of stinky Trolls at the moment, so that could really do some solid damage. Archeon over here, looks like the Fireborn were routed. Lyrian Reavers trying to charge in and salvage the situation with 2 Ranger units. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh will be really solid here with their high armor and the Skull Crushers on top of that. But there is a unit of Phoenix Guard mixed in here, and that they are holding on very low HP. Oh, that could be a good burning head into these 2 Ranger units. We'll see if they pull back. Take a little damage on the first unit and solid damage on the second unit. Heralds of the Wind here, nice shooting unit, and they have solid melee charging in. Some terror routes probably going down here on multiple units with Eltharion diving in. Where is Archeon? He is pretty low on HP, and looks like things are pretty low for the High Elves right now. We could see a turn of the tide. Fighter Die, really solid on all these units, going to buff them up. Shadow Walker's going to take some punishment, but the Phoenix Guard are holding. Over on Objective 2, Silver Helms, it looks like they were able to bully those Hellstriders, and with the Heralds of the Wind, ROR, that have incredible speed, they probably will be able to take Objective 2, and that could be a triple cap for the High Elves. Warriors of Chaos, a little still ahead on objectives, though, so they still have time. Searing Doom going down there. Could have used a Burning Head, though, with the light armor of the units for the High Elves here, and a Terror Rat going down on these 4 Troll units. Archeon not around with his immune to Psychology, so that's going to leave those units without the leadership buff they needed, and with those Troll units breaking, that might spell the end for the Warriors of Chaos here, especially with how low Archeon is. The Phoenix Guard, the elite infantry of the High Elves, holding on such low HP right now. What kind of value did these guys get? A lot of kills, and 1,800. That is pretty amazing. I would have never guessed that unit. There must have not been a Hell Cannon in reserves for the Warriors of Chaos. Excuse me, it likely was what I was talking about, that there's some context here between these 2 opponents that was not taken. I'm guessing it's the Soul Quench from Eltharion. I think that would probably kill a Hell Cannon crew with a couple of shots. Warriors of Chaos summoning in some units from reserves here. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Archeon retreating into the trees. Possibly returning to the Chaos Waste here. His invasion on the High Elf lands was not successful. Eltharion diving into Horsemasters. Archeon could possibly, with Spirit Leech, get a pick here, but the Heralds of the Wind, a solid melee unit, going to do nicely, and he's just going to fly away. I think that's a smart choice, not taking any risks. Charix has a huge advantage right now. It has no reason to dive in. Looks like some of those Shadow Walkers were unsummoned and now have been summoned again with full ammunition. Are going to be able to do a lot of solid poking here into the Warriors of Chaos, putting the emphasis back on them to make a move into this triple cap situation. Silver Helms here cleaning up Forsaken. We have Lyrian Reavers diving into Forsaken. Apotheosis going down on Eltharion. That's maybe something we could have seen for the Warriors of Chaos, was a Nurgle caster out of reserves, but that's going to be the end for Warriors of Chaos, and such a cool build from Charix here. I mean, Phoenix Guard, Sword Masters, the Shadow Walkers as well, all doing really well. Great value from the Shadow Walkers here. Phoenix Guard doing insane at 1,700 and 1,800 in reserves. Swordmasters actually did pretty good too. Fireborn did solid. The Winds of Magic was really nice for Eltharion, allowed him to spam endless Arcane Unforgings onto Archeon, eventually killing him and winning the duel between those 2 lords. Yeah, really nice player. The Trolls did okay. I think that was possibly the weakness from the Warriors of Chaos. I'm not familiar with Warriors of Chaos as a roster. They have a lot going on, so maybe the Trolls were a good pick, maybe they weren't. Who's to say? Martinius is a great player, so he likely knows that answer better than myself. Solid from the units here. Yeah, it really was just, I think it was a change-up the Warriors of Chaos did not expect with these Phoenix Guard, and there wasn't really an answer for these hyper-elite infantry. Well, thank you guys for watching. That was a fun one for me to watch. And I'll catch you in the next video.